Do you have doubts that manifesting actually works? Or are you doubting your ability to manifest successfully? Do you want some solid, undeniable proof that your imagination truly creates reality? Then this video is for you. What's up, superheroes? Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. I'm Scarlet Grace from UnseenSeraph.com. I'm a manifestation coach, and today's video is about proving that the law of assumption is real and that your imagination truly creates reality, which we're going to do using the ladder exercise that comes straight from Neville Goddard. If you're new here and you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast with the law of attraction and Neville Goddard's teachings, then start now by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that could change your life. And if you need some extra help on my personal advice for your situation, coaching is available. I also have a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person, so if that's what you're looking for, then click the link in the description to check it out. So, welcome to the experiment that is going to convince you once and for all that your imagination truly, really creates reality. To achieve that, we're going to use a well-known exercise that comes straight from Neville Goddard called the ladder exercise. If this is the first video you ever watch about Neville Goddard or the law of assumption, then let me tell you a few things about Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard was a mystic from Barbados who lived most of his life in the United States in the first half of the 20th century up until the early 70s. And he taught people that imagination creates reality. He gave many lectures that are all free online, he wrote many books that are also all free online, and he taught many people how to manifest their wildest desires into physical reality. This exercise, the ladder exercise, comes straight from Neville Goddard, and it is an exercise that he gave to his students when they started studying with him. Now, this is one very requested video. Over the past year, many people have asked me to do a video on the ladder experiment, and many people have asked me to do a video on how you can use this technique in order to manifest your desires. So, before we get into the actual exercise, let's get a few things straight. The ladder exercise is not a technique, it is an exercise, it is an experiment. The difference between an exercise and a technique is something, it is a method that you use in order to manifest many different things. An exercise is a specific application of one technique. In this case, you use a specific technique, which is imagining in a state akin to sleep, in order to manifest climbing a ladder. This is why this is an exercise. So if you have been wondering how to actually apply the ladder technique in order to manifest your desires, the answer is that you don't, because the technique that makes the ladder exercise work is imagining in a state akin to sleep. So that is the technique that you apply. You do not need to do anything that has to do with ladders in order to manifest other desires. This exercise is an exercise with the ultimate goal of manifesting climbing a ladder in order to prove that your imagination creates reality. Once you prove that to yourself once and for all, it will be easier to believe that you can manifest anything else that you focused your mind on using the exact same method. The method is imagining in a state akin to sleep. Alright? So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the actual exercise. So the exercise consists of two parts. And after I explain the exercise, I'm going to tell you exactly what those parts accomplish and how those prove that your imagination creates reality, as well as one more very important thing that is proven through this exercise. So, the exercise is very simple and you need to do it for 3 nights in a row. For 3 nights in a row, when you go to bed at night, close your eyes and imagine very vividly from a first-person point of view that you're climbing a ladder. Imagine the ladder very vividly. What does it look like? What color is it? How does it feel when you touch it? Is it cold? Is it wooden? Is it metal? Imagine it very vividly. And imagine that you're climbing this ladder very vividly. Now pay attention, because this is the difference between success and failure. You need to imagine this from a first-person point of view, meaning that you're inside your body looking out of your own eyes. You do not see this scene as if it is a movie on TV with your body playing in the movie. You are inside your body, experiencing it the way you experience everyday life. In everyday life, you're inside your body looking out of your own eyes. You do not see yourself from a distance. So when you're imagining climbing the ladder in this exercise, you are inside your body too, looking out of your own eyes. You do not see your body from a distance climbing the ladder. So imagine this very vividly and try to involve as many of your senses as possible. So, how does the ladder feel under your hands? Feel the resistance as you climb the ladder. Feel your hands grabbing the ladder as you're climbing it. Make the experience as realistic as possible. And keep climbing the ladder until you fall asleep. You do that every night until you fall asleep for 3 nights in a row. Now, the second important part of this exercise is, during the day, I want you to take pieces of paper or post-it notes and write on them, "I will not climb the ladder." And put them all over your apartment or your house, wherever you will see them. So you can put one on your fridge, you can put one on your bathroom mirror, on the door. Put them everywhere so that you will see them all day long. So you do that and you leave the notes for 3 days in places where you're going to see them. But at night, when you go to bed, you close your eyes and you imagine very, very vividly from a first-person perspective that you're climbing the ladder. Now, if done right, within 3 days of completing this experiment, an event will take place that will have you climbing a ladder. If this doesn't happen, repeat the exercise. But for most people, at least for 80% of the people that I know, even if they didn't believe they would ever climb a ladder, even if they didn't own a ladder, they ended up climbing a ladder when they did this. Now, let me share with you my personal experience when I first conducted this experiment before I get into how this works, why this works, and what exactly it proves. So, when I first tried this, I put up my notes all around my place and I went to bed and I imagined I was climbing the ladder and I was fully prepared to do this for 3 nights in a row. But, lo and behold, the very next day, the light in my kitchen went out, and in order to change the light bulb, because it was very high, I had to take a ladder and climb the ladder in order to change the light bulb. Now, that lamp is a very long-lasting one. I hadn't changed it for maybe 4 or 5 years. So it wasn't a very random thing that happened a lot. It was very, very interesting, the timing of when I did the experiment and the fact that I had to climb the ladder in order to change the light bulb. So this was my experience with the climbing the ladder exercise. Now, I did this exercise long after I was already convinced that imagination creates reality. But I did it anyway because it felt like a fun thing to try, and it worked. So if you don't believe that imagination creates reality, if you still have doubts that you're powerful enough for you to imagine things and have them manifest in your physical reality just like that, I highly encourage you to try this exercise. And now let's get into the 2 different things that this exercise proves. The first part, of course, is that your imagination creates reality. When you imagine as vividly as possible and from a first-person point of view, and when you do that in a state akin to sleep, which, by the way, is not only right before bed. A state akin to sleep is a trance state, is a meditative state. So you don't have to do it only before bed. You can do it at any other time during the day if you have the time to relax, close your eyes, immobilize your body, maybe focus on your breathing for 5 or 10 minutes first, or maybe you just want to use a relaxation meditation that you find online for 5 or 10 minutes, and that gets you in this very relaxed state that is a state akin to sleep. Neville described this state as, you are relaxed and you're fully capable of opening your eyes and getting up, you just don't want to do so. That's when you know that you're in a state akin to sleep. You're not frozen in place, you're not actually asleep, you can fully open your eyes and get up any moment you decide to do so, you just are so relaxed that you don't want to do this. Okay, this is a state akin to sleep. So when you imagine, while in a state akin to sleep, within a few days, you have the thing that you're imagining manifest in your physical reality. This is the first thing that the ladder exercise proves. But there is a second very important thing that is proven through this exercise. Because maybe by now you're wondering, if the focus is on manifesting climbing the ladder, then why do you have to put all those post-it notes around your apartment or around your house stating, "I will not climb the ladder"? Here's why, and this is very important. Your subconscious mind does not understand negatives. So, when you say, "I will not climb the ladder," in order for your mind to understand not climbing a ladder, it has to imagine climbing a ladder and then putting a red X on it. So you cannot imagine not doing something or not having something unless you actually first imagine having that thing or doing that thing. And this is why when you write, "I will not climb the ladder," what your mind focuses on, even if you don't realize it, is climbing the ladder. The not isn't counted. This is why, even though you spend a day staring at notes that say, "I will not climb the ladder," if you go to bed and imagine climbing the ladder, your imagination will prevail and will manifest climbing a ladder. And this is very useful. This is very useful, first of all, because we spend a lot of time during the day stating things or thinking about things that we do not want. But if you think of them like that, if you say, "I do not want to be poor," well, the focus is on be poor. See why this doesn't work in order to manifest a different financial situation? So this is the second very important conclusion that comes from this exercise. Your mind doesn't understand negatives. And that means that even if you spend the day saying, "I will not do this," if you keep imagining doing something, then it is going to manifest. This is very important when it comes to the things you worry about. So if you keep thinking to yourself about how you're not going to do something because you don't want to do that thing, and you're also worried about this thing, which means you're picturing being in that situation and telling yourself, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in that situation." What this accomplishes is it creates it in your physical reality. Just like when you say, "I will not climb the ladder," and then focus in your imagination on experiencing vividly climbing a ladder, it manifests by you having to climb a ladder. So now you know how your imagination works, and I encourage you to try this experiment, because it's very, very useful, especially if you're a beginner and you don't yet believe that your imagination can create reality so fast, or maybe you believe that imagination creates reality, but you're not yet convinced that you personally have the power to do it or do it right. So if you don't believe that you can do it right, I encourage you to try this exercise and prove to yourself that yes, you can absolutely manifest what you can imagine, and it can happen within a few days. If you've tried the ladder exercise in the past, or if you tried after watching this video, then I would very much like to read what your results were. So post a comment below to tell me all about the results that you had from this exercise. And if you haven't already, then subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.